Right. So definitely we would eventually get to trading crypto. Yeah, crypto spreads are a bit huge. I agree. But let me also say that if you guys are interested in trading crypto on bounce back, try to use Hugo's Way or FX Choice, right? Those are the two brokers that I recommend because they have persons asking me what brokers do I recommend in terms of trading crypto. Um, Hugo's Way and FX Choice. So with Hugo's Way, you basically, in order to fund the account, so in order to fund the account, you need to buy a piece of a Bitcoin, right? So you don't actually have to buy the entire Bitcoin, just a percentage of it. So in other words, if you wanted to top up your account by $200, you will basically be buying $200 worth of Bitcoin, and then it will then transfer over to Hugo's Way. That's how it tops up, right? So even if you're not interested in crypto right now because of how it moves and stuff, still make note of it so that you will know what you need to do. Uh, okay, so let's get straight over so that we could get the working people out. All right, so if you're coming on this call, just remember to mute your end. Please do not unmute. Just gonna be on participants. Good stuff. All right, cool. So you guys could see here on the left hand side that, you know, the last couple of trades that we had were either crypto, commodities, you even have US oil, right? So again, as I mentioned, if you guys are trading this, if you guys are trading crypto, oil, anything like that, please use FX Choice or Hugo's Way. If you ask me who's better, I prefer Hugo's Way because the payout is a lot, you know, more than most brokers anyway. I don't know if any of you guys remember JFX. For those who would have been with us a couple months and years when we used to use JFX and be trading Bitcoin or any type of cryptocurrency, how a 0.01 lot size used to give us some really, really solid profits. So the same thing for Hugo's Way. As well. Good. So so I can just do one crypto just for those who may be interested in it, and then we're gonna go over into you know, bounce back itself. Now we have here sell Ethereum, right? So when you see ETH is Ethereum and to the US dollar at 142.12, right? So following the rules, we first want to understand where 142.12 is, right? And we're looking for a sell. This is on the 4-hour time frame. So if you come down to the 30-minute, that's your 2 hours down. Sorry, your 2 time frames down. And we're looking for a sell. And I think when this got called, oh great, we can see the time again. When this got called, it was 8:07. I think this got called around here. So just put a little eclipse. This got called around here, right, for the sell. So on the 30-minute time frame is where we're going to draw our trend line, right? Obviously identifying some type of uptrend. So you could go from the last low, so any of those wicks from the last low, and you could literally draw your uptrend, your trend line to identify the uptrend there, right? No, notice that I didn't actually go through any bodies of the candle. I just touched the wicks, and if we do price label, so if you do price label, you could put the price label anywhere below the trend line. So anywhere below the trend line, because person's still confused as to where to put the call level. Anywhere below the trend line. So if price is here, all you need to do is put it below the trend line. Anywhere, like even here, right? 140.34 is where I would set my call level. So that when it comes down now to the 15-minute to look for my entry, you know, when price breaks my trend line and I get my confirmation, it's easy for me to just enter the market, just like that. I don't do stock orders. Persons has been asking me, coach, I've been busy at work and I was thinking to do a buy stop, sell stop. No, I don't do it. I don't encourage it either. So if you were wondering, I don't do it. I don't encourage it. News has happened. You have a lot of spikes. So many things has happened that you can't control. Sometimes you guys might do a stop order and forget that US got news or, somebody speaking and stuff like that. And it tends to affect your trade. So it will spike you in and then go straight to stop loss and stuff like that. Like, for example, last week, the GBP pairs from Wednesday onward, had a lot of activity going on because of Theresa May and Brexit, etc. And we had a lot of spikes, literally bear impulses up and down, up and down. So I say that to say that I don't believe in stop orders. I really don't. Probably for a beginner, but when you start to really get experience and stuff, I prefer market execution. Use a call level, use alerts, whatever you want to alert you that your order is ready and stuff like that, and then you go and assess the situation, right? Because the whole idea is that you want to assess the situation. Remember that forex tells you a story. You just can't tell yourself, you can just put a stop order and left it and it can do its thing. No, right? You want to make sure that even before you enter, even when you get a call level, before you enter, you assess the situation and see what's currently happening with price. I got my call level activated. It sent me notification, but is it really ready? Do I have the cross in the MACD? Did it really cross my trend line? Was it a spike? Does it look like a good downtrend or a good uptrend in the form and that's forming? So stuff like that, you want to start to look at, because remember, as I said, forex tells a story, right? And you guys need to get experience enough that you can come and look and see what forex is telling you. Like, for example, here we draw a trend line. So we identified, if you look at this, we have the impulse. We have the impulse. Here, we have a flag. All right? The flag came back up, test the last low. So if you were unaware, as much as this is a bounce back strategy, if you look, even here, I pull it to the last low. Look at this low here. Let me move the eclipse. And let me put it here. Remember that forex tells a story. So over here you had the low, and what did price do? Price impulse, break this support, came down, created a new low, and when it flagged and retest the last low, right? And then after that, what happened? Now we're starting to get a move onward, but we're still currently testing it. And remember that true support and resistance or true trend lines, right, need to be retested. A lot of you guys are not patient in the market. Patience, right? Patience. It works. Trust me. If you didn't know, it works. It works, right? So just be patient and let the trade come to you. Stop trying to rush the trade. Stop trying to think money, and just understand what is really happening. Because a lot of you guys, let's say you have entered the trade here. Right, let me put an arrow. Let's say you had entered the trade right here when it broke the trend line. And then you realize, wait, well, it was just in profits and now it gone in negatives, right? If you're looking at your charts, you're not assessing the situation. What's happening? Price is currently retesting still the last low, right? Price is currently retesting the last low, and in this case, not even just the low, but the trend line that we would have drawn to identify the flag. So sometimes not even sometimes, all the time, it's not just about, okay, I was in profits and now I'm in negatives, or I was just in $25 and now, I got 80 cents. Sometimes you got to assess the situation, look at the chart, see what's happening, and then, you will be able to say, okay, I now understand why I got to draw down from my, my profits, because price is currently flagging before it continues its run. All right, so I want you guys to get to that stage where you can start to see that. So one thing I want to go through today, quickly, let me see what time we have to play with, just about 15 minutes, this is something that I would have went through with my team on Sunday, where I told persons that if you bought same price on your trading view and bounce back calls a trade, even from your trading view, you could actually look and see, why bounce back would have called this trade and how many pips you could kind of look for when you start to become more experienced. So for example, I'm gonna do it now. Let's go with GBP JPY. So I start from my monthly, right? Let me just stop my video so you guys can see me properly in the recording, because I know a lot of you need to watch this over. Good. So I zoom out to get the full picture of what happened from the beginning of time, right? And what I do is I start from my monthly. And what I'm aiming for is the boxing price. So by boxing in price, I'm identifying the uptrend, so the last uptrend and the last downtrend, right? The major ones. And these are called true trend lines. So the major trend lines, the overall trend of the market, right? Anything inside of these. So when we start to come down into the daily and weekly and we drawing other trend lines, then those are called inner trend lines, right? So all I'm doing is identifying my uptrends and my downtrends, right? So you can see here, I identify my uptrend, I draw my trend line, and I identify my downtrend, I drew my trend line there as well. So what is happening? What can you see? You can see that I have actually boxed in price. So price is now boxed in from a monthly perspective, right? Now, I come to my weekly, and I now look for inner trends that my trend line is not yet touching, right? So inner trends that my trend line is not touching. So you can see that this wick here is not being touched. So it actually didn't make it to our trend line. So what we do is that we try to catch that one as well. We will draw inner trend line. So this will be our weekly. In a case like this, you could actually change the color of your trend lines when you scale down into lower time frames. So like when you come into the weekly, you could change the color from black maybe to blue or pink or orange, whatever you want, so that you could identify the different time frame trend lines that you would have drawn. So you will know, okay, if you see that price come down to the orange line at some point, you know that that's your major weekly trend line. And therefore, you know, things like that you would say, okay, based on this, when I look back at what was happening around this point, based on the weekly time frame, I had a huge impulse. As soon as it touched this trend line, I had a huge impulse to the upside. So when the trade comes back down here and I see some type of rejection on my trend line, I'm looking for the same situation that happened over here to happen over here. Right? That's basically how it works. As I say, forex tells a story, learn the story. Learn to read what it is that forex is telling you, right? So, for example, you could see that when this came down here, we had a huge push back up to the upside, right? Okay. Now in January, we had some wars, some trade wars and stuff that caused the trade to spike and come all the way down to this trend line again. Now when it came down, what happened? We got full rejection and pushed back up to the upside. So you could see that as much as that might not look like a lot there to you, this was actually this got pushed. So far, it got pushed just over 1,700 pips. Right? So, and when you look previously, you can see the strength that happens at this trend line. So this is what you want to start to look for. Now, I have identified my uptrend in the weekly, and now I'm going to come and identify a downtrend as well. So wherever prices stop, I put in my trend line. Right? Wherever prices stop, I put in my trend line. So the whole idea of that is that I start to box in price too on the weekly. We always want to box in price. Right? Come into the daily time frame. So you really start to assess the situation. Let's say that bounce back now had to call a sell on GBP JPY on the daily time frame. You could literally look based on you boxing in price and say, okay, well, based on this, I could see that if this breaks this trend line, well, the next movement I could see it happening or going towards would be my next trend line. So it kind of gives you a point of interest as well. And if you could identify the trends, you'll be able to see if bounce back is actually calling a pullback, because I don't know if a lot of you realize that some of the trades that bounce back call is not necessarily a trend that is about to happen, but more or less a pullback that is happening on the time frame. So it's literally going to take you. So you're getting a trade that will take you to retest the last low or the last high before we continue the trade. It's also known as counter trend. Right? So so coming from the daily, I'm gonna go to the 4-hour time frame. So coming from the daily, I go into the 4-hour time frame. So we can see here we have our inner trend line from the daily, and now I'm literally still boxing in price. That's all I'm doing, boxing in price. So the whole idea is that you tell in price, you have nowhere to go. And whichever direction you break out in, I prepared for you because I already know if you break to the upside, I know where you're heading. If you break to the downside, I know where you're heading. So that's the whole idea, right? So coming down now so you can see on the 4-hour time frame, we identify the last uptrend, right? And now when we come down to the 1-hour time frame, if bounce back had to call right now, if bounce back had to say, okay guys, sell Euro USD around 147.558, right? What can you see here? You can see an uptrend happening. if bounce back had to call a selling this, I'm looking for this to drop right down to my 4-hour time frame, to my 4-hour trend line, 258 pips. So it kind of gives you a gauge, because some people start to ask me, coach, if I wanted to swing trade any of these trades and bounce back, is it possible? Well, if you can understand price action and you actually boxing price from your own trading view, you could just use bounce back as your signal to then go and assess the situation on trading view. For me, I personally believe that beginners would use the chart that bounce back is giving. Professionals, if they want to use bounce back as a confirmation for their trades and stuff like that, they're just going to look at bounce back, see the signals, see that it's telling you to sell or buy at a particular price point, and then they're going to come straight on their trading view, assess the situation, see what's really happening on the chart, what price is really telling you, and then decide whether this is a trade they want to take, whether this is a trade they want to leave, or where they expect the trade to go to overall, right? Because remember, guys, you don't need to take every single bounce back. I know a lot of you be excited when you see bounce back send out a new trade. Oh, BB alert, BB alert. But you don't need to take every single bounce back, because if you can start to really read the charts, you might even look at something and say, see that look funny, right? That looks a bit funny, and you're like, how it looks. It's very spiky. Like, for example, you could see here that GJ, hardly created flags coming up in this uptrend. It was just a lot of impulses, just up and down, and we don't actually have a clear uptrend that we could see. So if bounce back was calling buys while this was spiking in the uptrend, I would have told myself, you see this? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look healthy. Remember that you want to get into healthy trades. You want to get into healthy trends as well. So if I see something and it don't look healthy, I can't see a clear impulse and corrective move, I'm not getting any trade. If I can't see a clear uptrend or downtrend that was happening previously, I'm not getting into the trade. So that should be really handy for you guys. So if you're looking for take profit points, let's say that bounce back had to call this sell here. First thing we're looking for is for price to break our trend line. So let me put an arrow there. So I'd be looking for price to break our trend line there, right? And take profit points. First TP1, all the lows, right? TP2, TP3, literally. That's basically how I will be trading, how I'll be taking my profits as well. And at these cases, like, for example, if you had to put a very big, lot size to start with, as soon as you get the confirmation, at every single point of rest where I have these lines, you can take partial profits. Let's say that you went in here at standard, you could take, a mini from here, you could take another mini from there, and so on and so forth, so that you would keep taking profits as the trade goes further down, because the trade is literally not going to come from here. I don't know, a lot of you guys will think this. The trade is not going to come from breaking the trend line and just come all the way down. That means markets will have to crash for that to happen. And a lot of you guys need to understand that when the trade breaks the trend line, right, it's going to come up, retest, drop, break, retest, break, retest, break, right? Literally, that's the type of healthy trend that we're looking for. But I want you guys to always remember that if you see your profits fluctuating, or the losses fluctuating, it's because the trade has to break and retest all the time. Break and retest. That's what the trade has to do, right? So hopefully this was a bit useful for you guys. When bounce back calls, price or entry, even if you're at work and bounce back says enter JP, well, yeah, you could do it at work, because you need to get off the you need to do your work, right? You need to get off the computer or get off your phone and stuff like that and focus. So you want a quick solution. But when you get home, practice. Go back to your charts. Say, all right, today bounce back, call out GBP, JPY, sell. Let me box in price and see what it is that bounce back saw that would have caused them to say, you know, we're gonna sell at this point, or we're gonna buy at this point. You need to start to see those things because you need to identify patterns, right? You need to say, okay, look, you can see here that when we got up here in this uptrend, how price started to break down and we were now in consolidation. The market is actually contracting here, so which means that we are preparing for a move, right? We are preparing for a move, but for confirmation, I want to see my move break either this trend line or break and go above. I don't want to guess. I don't want to say, yeah, I can sell for sure when I don't have my confirmation or bounce back tells me to sell. So I believe that bounce back is the holy grail, so I can just sell. I want to understand the story that bounce back telling me so that I will know, okay, yes, this looks good. It looks healthy. And, you know, I could literally look to stay here and catch in total. If it heading all the way down to our TP3, 325 pips, or if we're going to TP1, 84 pips, TP2, 217 pips, right? So you basically want to assess the situation as bounce back sends you trades. Learn to trade, learn the skill. Trust me, it will benefit in the long run. A lot of you guys, you know, still lazy in mindset. And, you know, if you really want to make 6 and 7 figures, like some of us and stuff like that, you guys have to put in the work. When no one is looking, when the hype is done, what are you doing? When the hype is gone, after convention, after we hold an event and stuff like that, you get that hype and it starts to settle in now and nobody's hype anymore. What are you doing? What are you doing after the hype is done, right? Are you still putting in the work? Have you gotten lazy? Are you procrastinating? What are you doing, right? So make sure that when you guys get a bounce back entry, that even if you don't do it the same time, when you come home, assess the situation, go and look and see what's happening with price, see what forex is telling you as a whole in terms of the story that it's giving you, right? So that you will know for sure, okay, you know, is currently in an uptrend. It looks healthy. You know, the trade is not spiking up and down, up and down, up and down because of Brexit. So I think that it looks good for me to get in, and therefore I'm going to take my sell or I'm going to take my buy. But learn to box in price. All right? Use TradingView. If you don't have an account with TradingView, register. It's absolutely free. You don't need to upgrade to the paid version, and that's it. Right, guys, so I hope today was useful. I hope you learned something. Yes, I only did one example. I would try to do another example in our next call. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I will post this on YouTube so that you could watch it again, so that you would understand what you need to do on your TradingView and how you need to take the signals from bounce back and start to apply it to your skill set and learning it, right? So guys, thanks a lot for joining me on this beautiful morning. Do have a wonderful day. Take care.